Okay, now the chair will now recognize the opponent's for speech of 6 minutes. We have 6 minutes? Do we have 6 minutes?
Yep.
Minutes. I need 6 minutes in order to make this. $6 again.
As you may know, I want to see for this argument, I'm arguing pro-life. Now, I'd like to throw out some facts and statistics out there before I get down to my initial argument. Just for those of you that don't know, incomplete abortions, which is basically a miscarriage that women have. Women are known to miscarriage. 1 in every 5 pregnancies statistically is a miscarriage. 45,000 women last year had miscarriages, and they had to have, which is, in other words, an incomplete abortion, and they had to go and get that baby removed, essentially like, finishing the job of an abortion. That cost the state $19 million. Now, this is only 45,000 women who responsibly had sex and were prepared to keep their baby. Now, at this $19 million, if we actually legalize abortion, that means that there are going to be tons and tons of women who have sex very freely and who feel that pregnancy is no consequence. They're going to have abortions, and look at what that's going to do to our economy. This doesn't just affect you, me, people, humanitarian, Bible, all that nonsense. It affects our economy. When we talk about what it can actually do to our economy, it'll put us, last year, $19 million we spent on incomplete abortions. Think about what that could do if we legalized it. The official Senate report on Senate Bill 158 said, the Human Rights Bill, summarized the issues by saying that physicians, biologists, and other scientists agree that conception marks the beginning of life conception marks the beginning of the life of a human being. Now, in saying this, a lot of people argue, well, you know what, a fetus can't feel, has no life. I mean, who are we to argue? You can kill a fetus. Well, see, the problem with that is the heart starts beating 18 to 25 days after the actual conception, sperm and egg, after the zygote is created. Now, a lot of women don't even know that they're pregnant until maybe a month, because if you think about it, they have to wait for their period. Maybe they forgot because they didn't get on their period. That's at least 4 weeks after, which means that the heart will already start beating. Brainwaves can be recorded of the fetus at 43 days old. The brain and all body systems function at 8 weeks old. And at 9 weeks old, the baby has a fingerprint. Fingerprints are what we use to signify one person from another. A fingerprint is unique. No one in this room has the same fingerprint. Fingerprints branch out between the billions of people that live on this earth. So when you think about it, if a baby at 9 weeks has a fingerprint, you cannot argue and say that baby is not a person, that baby is not alive. That baby is already recognized in society. It has its own fingerprint. It has its own place in time. And at 11 to 12 weeks, a baby is sensitive to heat, touch, light, and noise. So that's when the brain is almost fully functioning and can see a lot of those different things. Now, I know proponents stated that Huntington's, which is a disease that basically gets rid of a lot of motor functions. It's a very bad disease. And it's also a sex-linked disease, which means that it's carried and passed through mothers because it travels on the X chromosome. And the problem with this is that Huntington's disease becomes prevalent at about 40 years old. Now, at 40 years old, you're going to tell me, I lived my life, now I have Huntington's disease, and I'm probably not going to make it. Yes, this is bad, but did I live a good life? Yeah, I lived a pretty good life, even though I'm dying at 40, I didn't want to die at 40, but I had a lot of really great experiences. Now, you have the chance of having a daughter, and with a daughter, if you have Huntington's disease, then she will have Huntington's disease, or a son, actually. And a lot of things don't matter, because if you said the daughter or the son had Huntington's disease, you're denying her 40 years that she could have lived. You're denying her 40 years that she could have gone on, created a legacy, met someone, fallen in love, had an experience in college, gotten drunk her first time, cheated on a test, gone to Disneyland. You're cheating someone on their life experiences that no one else would ever get to live for them. 1 minute left? Okay. So when you're looking at things like that, you can't deny somebody life even if you know that they would die at an earlier age. Also, one more thing. I hear this a lot. It's said that, oh, women who are rape victims, they want abortions. Who are we to deny rape victims? I actually have a statistic. I know that you asked for a statistic in the back. It actually says, this was done by research of Dr. Sandra Macron. This is actually one of the only this is one of the largest rape studies conducted. And it was said that he found that 75 to 85% of victims would not get an abortion if they were pregnant upon being raped. Now, what this means is that all of your arguments about, oh, rape victims will immediately go and have an abortion because they don't want to have their rapist baby. Well, you know what? A lot of them are logical, and they see, I'm not going to deny somebody a life. Maybe I don't want to keep this baby, but that doesn't mean somebody can't love this baby. The baby has done nothing wrong if your rapist attacked you. You could put that baby up for adoption. Who said that you can't do that? Yeah, your body may go through physical changes, and it may be tough to carry a baby, but you're still giving life. That gift of life is something that's amazing. No male will ever be able to understand that. And I don't think a lot of women even understand that if they're going to get abortions. Life is a very important thing. And just because you're having a child that may have been the child of a rapist or maybe a child that you weren't ready to have, either way, if you're being raped, then you know what, I'm sorry, but you're denying somebody life. And if you're having sex without protection, then that just means that you're not mature enough to have sex in the first place. And I'll use my time for questions. 30 seconds of questions.
One quick question.
I was thinking of the speech you asked, like you said, $19 million. Did you assume that we would give them out for free or something like that? Because I don't see what it'll do besides make a lot of doctors really rich. Could you explain that?
Well, no, basically what I'm saying is because of the fact that 45,000 women in California had to get,
Motion to extend the speaker's time.
Second question.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
How long?
How long?
Just answer the question. 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes?
All in favor for 2 minutes extension, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Basically, 45,000 women last year had a miscarriage, which is also known as medical term as an incomplete abortion, and they had to get a technical abortion in order to take out the dead baby or the dead fetus. Now, obviously, these cost money, but what I'm saying is that a lot of times, what it costs, it's like capital punishment. It costs a lot more to kill somebody than it does to keep them in prison for the rest of their lives. So essentially, if you have billions of women, if you have hundreds of thousands, this is only 45,000 women. If you added another, 45,000 women, that's another $19 million that the state doesn't need to be spending.
Any other questions?
Two-part question?
Ask the first question.
Do you stand by your statement that each life is sacred, with also the statement attached that we should keep those lives because of the way they are?
Repeat the last part.
Expatiate, or
We should keep their lives because of the way that they are.
or we shouldn't alter them. We should let the babies be born.
Not necessarily. I'm not necessarily saying that we could
Alter them by killing.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm saying we should not kill fetuses because the gift of life is something that is unexplainable by humans. Well, explainable biologically, but...
Okay, well, rephrasing my first question, do you believe all lives to be sacred?
Yes.
Okay, second part of the question, should we illegalize sex change operations since every life is sacred the way that it is born?
Now, see, the problem with this is that you're assuming automatically that what I'm saying is, I'm saying a life is a life, a boy is a boy should stay a boy his whole entire life. No, I'm saying that I'm not talking about living, breathing physically. I'm talking about living, breathing as your place in a linear progressive timeline of the world, okay? When you are born, you have a place in the human race. You will do something. Whether it be you sit on your couch and you do drugs all day or you become the President of the United States of America, you have a place in your life and in everyone else's life. Most likely, you cannot go through your life without interacting with someone else's life. So if someone wanted a sex change, that's not denying them the fact that they're living or they're dying. That's just saying that they want to live their life a different way. Living your life a different way is not being dead. You cannot say, oh, I'm going to have my baby live a life a different way by killing him. No, you can say I want to live my life a different way by having a penis or a vagina. It's your choice.
Motion for point of inquiry, considering that the speaker did not answer a yes or no question.
Yeah.
I can build another question.
No, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Can inquiry on someone like what the traumatic instances for girls that maybe did it for the first time, not knowing the consequences?
Basically, this is what I have to say, okay? Because I don't think we do well enough in sexual education, okay? Not necessarily, this is a penis, this is a vagina, the two go together and make baby. No, there's a lot of different things that happen when you have sex. And a lot of different people have unprotected sex. The problem with having unprotected sex is that that's a maturity decision. You need to be mature in order to say, well, I'm ready to have sex with my girlfriend or my husband, or I'm ready to have sex with whoever, okay? And a lot of different people, they say, oh man, I messed up, I didn't use a condom, or I was on birth control, so I just don't want this baby anymore. It's no excuse, okay? When you do something wrong, when you go up to your parents and they say, and you were like, oh, Mom, Dad, I cheated on a test. I really needed an A in this class though. But, you know, will you just call and like tell the teacher and fix my mistake for me and just get it out of the way? That's not what happens. When you're mature enough to make the decision to have sex, you're mature enough to have that baby. And if you feel, oh shit, I'm not mature enough to have a baby, well then maybe you shouldn't be having sex. It's either or. There are ways to prevent pregnancy, and there are ways that you can beat the statistical odds, like by using condoms or birth control, but it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you have free unprotected sex that you should be able to get an abortion.
Okay, time elapsed.
Sean, you got a gavel?
Okay. Now, normally, the speech doesn't go on for that long. It's usually 6 minutes. We've got like a 60-second extension of time. This time we went 2 minutes. We went a little bit overboard on the questions, but just know that you can do that. So if you feel that the speaker didn't get to make his point enough time, you can call a motion to extend the speaker's
If
time.
it's in an opening speech, it's actually against the rules unless you want a motion to eliminate the rules, because you're only allowed to have 6 minutes as a main speaker.
And only Matt Saunders can do that.
Yeah, so if you
Matt Saunders is a bitch.
So if you want to make a motion, just say motion to suspend the rules and extend the speaker's time for the main speakers. In which case, you know, I'll ask, do I get a second? If someone says, Aaron would say second, in which case I'd ask, all in favor say aye, all in favor say nay. Now, yeah, ayes would have it, nays would have it, and we move on with our lives.